mag light. I was recommended by the first van lifer I ever met to get one of these. She said it's heavy enough to be a steel baseball bat, and then also if someone's coming in, then I can shine this and then I can blind them. And
hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I'm here in Monmouth County, New Jersey, and I met up with Jacey, and Jacey has a really cool Dodge homemade camper van. I've been following her on Instagram for quite a while. She's been doing quite extensive traveling, and she finally was able to meet up with us to give us a tour inside and out. Hello, Jacey, and welcome to New Jersey Outdoor Adventures.
Hi, Patrick. So happy to have you. This is my, as you said, 2001 Dodge Ram. I self-converted it, and I did it on a budget, but I cut some corners here. I've been a little bit luxurious other places, but I'd love to show it to you. Come on in. This is my cat Cosmo. He traveled everywhere with me as well. So I keep my shoes down here as sort of a drop-off point. That way I can sit here in the front and have sort of a dry room, a wet room. Cosmo likes to hang out up here, so I've got his cushion and his little bed for him to hang out on. This contraption has no use. It was originally from a pull-out door handle because this was a shuttle bus. I just use it to hang things on now. It is sturdy. Someday maybe I'll put something on it that's useful. I have my entryway and my front door instead of my side door because the van came with no passenger seat. So I figured I would make it, like I said, a wet room in here. So I can just leave my shoes at the front, and then I don't need to worry about tracking dirt into my bedroom. The driver's seat is not very comfortable. But I've got a cushion for my back. This is Cosmo's little home that I keep it out for him in case he wants to be alone. When he's not in there, he's in this ottoman. He sleeps in here while I'm driving. I also keep blankets and my coats in there. I keep my phone on here for my GPS. I've got a mirror on my visor and a Bluetooth speaker. I keep extra storage up here. This is just a folder holder, which I put paper, my wallet, my rear view camera. It just plugs in when I'm going to reverse. I just pull that out when I need to. Back here we have curtains. They are blackout curtains. They're pretty dark. They give me a lot of privacy at night. I just have them on a shower rod, a tension shower rod that I can move if I need to. The ceiling, this is some really inexpensive beadboard that I got from Home Depot. I think it's supposed to go on the walls, and I just figured whatever, I'll put it on the ceiling. I got white because I thought it would make it look more big. I also put it on the doors because the doors are a little bit taller than the windows. I keep the screen here so then I can open the doors and not let all the bugs come inside. Also, Cosmo likes to sit right here on his stool and stick his head out the window. So I let him do that. Down here we have some storage. This is my solar panel. It is Jackery, and I can just put it outside anytime I need to charge my Jackery. It plugs right into my Jackery power. This is my most heavy storage. In here I keep my power tools as well as some miscellaneous storage and some board games. I don't go in here a lot, but it's very useful to have because I got this storage chest for just $10 on Facebook Marketplace, and I managed to purpose it into not just a storage container but also a couch. So I can put it down and make it a couch. Just unlock it, drop it down, and then now I have a couch area. I like to sit here and read sometimes. This is a book that I wrote in 2017. I published it. It is on Amazon if you want to look it up. I called it Fearless You. It's about being fearless when it comes to dating, but I like to be fearless in a lot of different aspects in my life. You can see my brand is Fearless. My Instagram is called Fearless Jacey. I also have a tattoo. This I got when I was living in Thailand, and it reminds me to be fearless every day, be a little bit more audacious with my life. Part of why I got the van. This bookshelf I put originally because I wanted to give Cosmo some more space to go and jump around. I figured I would make it a bookshelf because I do want to carry my books with me. I made it out of some old shelving my mom had, just screwed it together, threw it up. This is where I cook. This is where I cook. It's just a simple Coleman propane stove. It's not Coleman. Just a simple propane stove. I cook on here anytime I'm cooking. I can set it up outside or I can set it up inside. When I cook in the van, I just open up my vent on top, make the air circulate, and it's wonderful. This table I made out of extra plywood, and I put some polyurethane on top to make it smooth and waterproof. The leg here is made of just some pipes that I put together because then that allows it to rotate and I can slide it all around wherever I need it to be. That gives me a lot more freedom with where I want to eat, or if I'm doing some work on my computer, I can put my table wherever I need to be. This is my water jug. It is 2.5 gallons. This is all the clean water I have on here. I know some people have really big tanks of water. I don't find that I need it. I can refill it pretty frequently. Usually if I don't have a clean water tap to get to, then I'll just buy water from Walmart. But usually I have a clean water tap and I just fill it up with tap water. This is an Alpicool fridge freezer combo. And I have control over the temperature. I can put it as low as -5 degrees if I need to. I keep ice cream and beer mostly. This is my power station here. So I have this Jackery power. This is a 1000 watt. It mostly powers my fridge. I keep it on non-stop, and it's usually about 35 to 40 watts an hour is what it pulls. So for 1000 watts storage, I have a lot of battery power on here. I do have a second one behind here, and that's what I use for all my other things. I have a 12-volt light, my fan, my phone, an extra battery charger, and another AC outlet if I need it. This console is really useful. I got it for free on Facebook Marketplace. They had ordered drawers for, I don't know, something in their kitchen, and it came without these pieces in it. So they ordered another one, and then they got another one. They never used this. So it was brand new in the box, and I took it out of their garage, and now I just use it for storage of kitchen things. And my sink goes right down into it. My sink is made of a half a tray steam table that I just drilled a hole into the middle of, put a little drain in the bottom, and that's my sink. It drains down into a little funnel that I have wrapped with some waterproof tape, and it goes into a clear hose which goes down, and then behind here I have a 2-gallon water jug which picks up all the gray water. These cabinet doors I made out of some repurposed blinds that I got from my mom's house. She renovated her windows and kept these in a box in the basement. Each one of these was a slot on the blinds. You can see the holes where they were tied together on the string. All I did was glue them together with little pieces of wood, put some hinges on the wood, put a little lock on here, and now I have full cabinets instead of just a shelf. The shelf, this was a DVD shelf that I got also from Facebook Marketplace. It was $5 for that one and $5 for this one. They're 7 feet long. I figured they'd be perfect for the 7 feet of bedroom storage I have in here. I keep most of my food up here. This is actually more food than I usually have. I just haven't been eating it very quickly these days. But then I also keep some linens, clothing, and all my clothing is up here. It's not that organized, but it all stays up. And you know, I know where everything is. It's been really helpful, useful. My fantastic fan here, it has 3 different levels for power, an in or an out switch. When I'm cooking with my propane tank, I put it out so that the air blows away. And then if it's cool outside, usually at nighttime, then I'll have it blow in to cool the place down. It opens manually and it closes manually. It does not automatically close in the rain, and I do not have a rain guard on it. So if it's raining, I either keep it open just a little bit or I just close it. This is my 12-volt light, which my cousin helped me make. He's really into solar power products, and it plugs right into my Jackery, my 12-volt DC socket, and it's pretty bright. I use it for anytime I'm in here and I need to light it up. I also have this little flashlight here for little things in the night. Oh, this is my mag light. I was recommended by the first van lifer I ever met to get one of these. She said it's heavy enough to be a steel baseball bat, and then also if someone's coming in, then I can shine this and then I can blind them and also have more of a vantage point myself. So I feel more comfortable carrying this than a gun or a taser or even like wasp spray. I feel more comfortable that if I need to, I can whack somebody in the face. My insulation covers, my mother helped me make because she has a sewing machine. So the Velcro is sewed right onto here, and then inside I have Reflectix, and it helps keep the cold out and the heat out. I like that it's Velcro because then I can just roll it up if I want to. It's very easy to maintain. I usually have the back windows covered as well if I'm sleeping, but it's nice to let the light come in. This is a full-size mattress that I did take from my college apartment. It has proven very comfortable. I have a solid 72 inches from the widest point from that window to this window. I did have to cut a couple inches off of the mattress, but I squished it in. And it's long enough that I can sleep straight. I usually sleep on a diagonal anyway because Cosmo takes up all the room. The mattress is on some unfinished plywood, and I'm able to lift this up to get the storage underneath it. So now that I have this open, I can get to whatever storage I have under here. Usually I don't use much of this frequently, but whatever I need to reach into I can get. I have a buddy heater that I don't use right now because I can plug in and use an electric heater. Cosmo's litter box is perfect height to go under here. I did measure it to make sure it would slide right in because I want him to have his litter box more than I need to have the height for the bed. My toilet here is a Camco cassette toilet. It has 2 different areas. There's a sealed tank underneath for the black water. There's also a clean water tank behind here for flushing, and it has hinges down here. I just pop those open, then I take the sealed black water tank out and I dump that at an RV station or in a toilet. This is a shelf that I got, I think it was from my old college apartment. It's just an IKEA shelf with the bins. I keep all my kitchen storage here. I have spices and other pantry items. Then I have pans, a French press for my coffee, and some more kitchenware. On the bottom I have cat food for Cosmo, my little garbage bin, and just some extra storage down here. This is my electric heater. I only use this when I'm plugged in somewhere. Now that I'm staying home for the holidays and I'm in New Jersey, I want to have that to keep me warm. The shelf over my bed is also just unfinished plywood. I put some pictures under it from my other travels to keep it a little interesting in here. I use it as a simple shelf. Usually I keep just my lights up here or some extra clothes. This is an air conditioning unit that was in the van when I bought it. It's pretty powerful, but it only runs when the van is on. So I can only use it if I'm running the van. Therefore, I don't use it often. Usually I can keep the van cool enough with just using the fan and then circulating the air with the windows open.
Now before we head outside, because I know you have a cool garage storage in the back that we're going to want to take a look at, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what inspired you to build this van? And did you build it with someone? Did you build it by your own? What kind of tools did you get?
Absolutely. I bought the van almost on a whim. I didn't have any concrete plans when I bought the van, and I just sort of started going with it. Once I bought the van in October or November of last year, I started working on it. I didn't have anyone around to help me out. I didn't have a workshop or a carpentry degree or anything fancy. I didn't even have any tools, but I was determined to fit the van out so that I can travel in it. I watched a lot of YouTube to figure out how to build things like a bed platform, what other people are doing with their vans, and I got ideas. I did use only my two hands to do most of it. My mother helped me with the window covers, but everything else was on my own. The trickiest part was probably trying to hold up the ceiling at the same time I was screwing the screws into it. I got some extendable shower curtain rust to help hold it up. So since I didn't have any tools, I waited for Black Friday and I got a combo pack from Home Depot, and it came with like all the big tools that are most commonly used. It did not come with a jigsaw, but it did have a reciprocating saw. So when I cut the hole in the ceiling, I used a reciprocating saw, which is more often used to like cut trees. So when I was trying to saw into the ceiling with it, the whole van was vibrating very strongly, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to fall off or if I was going to just break the van in half. I managed to do it okay. Got the fan in all by myself again, and the tools were very useful, and they're cheap. It was like 160 bucks. You can buy them too.
Now, what was your travel like before the van life? And as a follow-up question to that, what did you do in your travels while you had this van? Because I know I've been following you on Instagram. You got some cool stories that you had, a lot of photographs of back in the day prior to van life and then of current van life. Can you tell us about both of those living situations?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I started traveling, it was in 2017. My big motivator for starting to travel was I was at a place in my life where I just didn't really have a direction. I hadn't finished college. I just moved back to New Jersey, didn't really know what I was doing. And I also have progressive hearing loss, which started to get worse. And I was thinking that I should do something that would be harder if I was deaf, that I want to do now instead of later when I was with traveling. So I started backpacking. I spent 14 months backpacking in Europe and Asia. I said I got this tattoo when I was living in Thailand. I was teaching English for a semester, about 3 hours north of Bangkok. That was exciting. All of that was alone also, so I don't really mind being alone in the van too. It doesn't bother me to travel alone. In fact, I like it. I feel like I have more freedom. I really enjoyed traveling so much that when I came back to the US, I was sort of in like a down kind of mood. I wanted to be traveling, but then of course I was out of money. So I got an apartment, I got a job, and I was staying in New Jersey, and part of figuring out what my next move was to buy the van and to work on that. That way I can keep traveling even if it's in the US, and I can keep my cat with me too. So we started in August traveling. We drove from New Jersey up to Maine, and I've spent about a week in every state coming back down to New Jersey. So I've only done the northeast corner. In January, I'm going to finish the other 42 states. So I'm planning on spending a week in every state and just sort of following the weather, going around the country. And I'll be documenting all that too on my YouTube channel, which is Fearless Jacey. And I have a bunch of videos from backpacking in Europe and Asia on there. And then I'm also going to be posting videos of my travels. I have all my van build videos on there if you want to get more information about all of this.
Well, I hope this inspires some folks out there that, you know, have that itch to go and get into this lifestyle, but don't know how to connect all the dots. And do you buy a van and make it? Do you just buy a regular RV? I really hope that is helpful for them. Now, where do you plan on staying? Are you going to go campgrounds? Are you going to go on Walmart, Harvest Host? What are your travel plans for that?
Well, I like what you said, that it'll help people connect the dots to get moving, because it seems really overwhelming when you start traveling in the van, or even when you start thinking about it. You're like, this is such a big project. It's much simpler than you think. It's much easier than you think, and I feel that way about most things. And that's also when you're finding a place to stay. It's easier than you think. You don't need to be stealth. You can if you want to, but there's a lot of free parking places you can stay that are legal, and you don't need to worry about somebody coming to knock on your door in the middle of the night. I stay at campgrounds once every third or fourth night. That way I can plug in and recharge my batteries if it's been cloudy and I can't use the solar panel to recharge them. I also stay at a campground to shower or do laundry. Usually only for 1 or 2 nights, and then I'm back on the road. I like to use Harvest Host to stay in really beautiful places like vineyards. I went to a lavender farm in Vermont. That was beautiful. But then also I stayed in a parking lot at a brewery in Portland, Maine. There's a variety of places with Harvest Host, but I like to use them because then I can stay somewhere that's not a parking lot, it's not a campground. I have camped at a few Walmart parking lots. Never had a problem. It was never rowdy or creepy. Mostly I just kept my quiet corner in the parking lot, bought some groceries at Walmart, and then left in the morning.
Now, I'm on all the Facebook groups for van life and van builds, and one of the biggest topics lately is about being lonely out on the road. What are your thoughts on that?
My biggest thought on being lonely in the road is I don't need to worry about that, because my cat Cosmo keeps me a lot of company. He's a great cuddler, so at night we cuddle hard. But aside from that, I wouldn't say it's lonely as much as it's alone. I love to be alone. I traveled alone. I built this alone. I've lived alone, and it's more freeing, I feel like, because you don't have to ask somebody for their opinion, or if they want to do it a different way, or anything that might get in the way of you doing what you really want. You don't need to worry about that when you're alone. I would say that usually you meet people when you're traveling, but it's coronavirus time, so that doesn't happen so much. I have met some people at Harvest Host who are also staying there, and we chatted, had a glass of wine, but it doesn't really extend past that. I don't really get lonely because I'm doing something that I want to do, and it's worth it to me to follow the adventure of travel instead of the adventure of a localized relationship. That's not really something that I enjoy as much as being able to go and explore and do stuff that I can't normally do.
Well, thank you for giving us some insight on that, because I always was curious. You meet people out on the road, you might hang out for a couple days mountain biking or hiking or going out to dinner, and then you're on your own separate ways and you got to start over again. But it's good to know some of the insights from someone that's been out there doing it that might be helpful for our viewers. Would you mind give us a tour of the garage area?
Absolutely. It's easiest if we go around. So I'll show you around the back. There is a good bit of garage space because the van's really tall. It's about 9 foot flat all the way to the top of the fan. I do need to be careful about that if I'm going through a drive-through. I don't go through drive-throughs. I always have to park and then go in. The trickiest part is if I'm going to a tunnel or under a bridge. I just gotta watch the clearance signs. There was only one time I had to turn around because there was a bridge I wasn't expecting to be there, but then I turned around and it was fine. So I'm embarrassed about these. They don't look great, but I have them here because I'm trying to solve a problem I haven't quite figured out the solution to. And that is, I want to be able to open these windows and leave them open, but not have Cosmo come out and not have bugs come in. So when these open, I put the screen here between the openings. That way I can still see through the window. I tried to duct tape it and then the duct tape melted. So then I put super glue under the duct tape and put it back. So now they're mostly on with the super glue, but they've started melting off again. Not quite sure how to fix it yet, so now they're just an eyesore. This is my garage. I keep all of the boring things I don't use often back here. This is my tarp, which I hang up with some tent poles. I put these tent poles up and I put the tarp on top, and then I have a little awning. It was like 20 bucks for the whole setup. Much cheaper than installing an awning. Then I just have storage bins, you know, a firebox, and then random crap. Mostly these bins are full of random crap. I have a portable shower. I've only used this twice. Like I said, I usually shower at the campground, but I used it once at a beach, which was super helpful because then I didn't bring all of the sand into the van. And then another time at a campground, mostly just to try it out. But then all of the other campers were watching me and that was uncomfortable. I also have a telescoping ladder in here, which I find really helpful. I've used it very often. I'm pulling it out because it's my favorite thing that I have back here. It was like 60 or 70 bucks on Amazon, and it just grows. It just goes up, and then it falls back down, and I put it back.
Now, is that to hang out on the roof? Is that one of the appeals to it?
I use it if I need to get on the roof. I don't hang out on the roof. Mostly because I don't trust the fiberglass to hold me up well enough. But I use, if I need to get up there for cleaning or when I was putting the fan in, then the ladder came in mighty useful because, like I said, 9 feet, it's tall. I also keep some camping stuff back here, my chair, which I do pull out almost every time I stop. And then a tent, which I have not used once. Not sure why I still have it in here. That's what a garage is for, right? Things you don't really need. As you can see, I have the vinyl flooring in here. I put that in above the insulation. So I have some foam insulation. This is just around the corners, the spray foam. On the inside, I have a pink rigid foam board. And that's underneath the plywood, which is underneath the vinyl flooring. Put all that in myself too. It was easier than you think.
Now, was there a lot of prep work that needed to be done to this van, given that its former life? It might have had a chair ramp or tethers inside. Did you have to do a lot of demolition?
I did, actually. I bought the van as a handicap passenger van, and it had all the seats and the handicap ramp in it. So I got the ramp taken out by someone, but then everything else I took out myself. I pulled out the bolts to all the chairs, knocked those out, Then I had to pull up the floor. There was a rubber mat, and then there was some rotting plywood. So I pried all that up. On the bottom of the van, I put some Rust-Oleum paint to protect from any other water or rot that might come in. And then I put the insulation on top of that. Then I put the plywood on top of the insulation. Then I put the vinyl floor on top of the plywood.
Well, Jacey, thank you very much for taking the time today to give our viewers a tour of your awesome DIY camper van. I'm going to make sure I link to your YouTube channel and your Instagram account, as well as mention the book, because I know some of our viewers are going to be interested in obtaining that book, a copy of that book. Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I'd love it, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Patrick.